This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, August 20th, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Very early yesterday morning, the Annapolis Police Department was dispatched to the 900 block of Monroe Street in the city's EASTPORT section for a home invasion. There were 3 adult victims at home, and they said they were asleep when 2 male suspects forced open the front door to the residence. The suspects confronted the victim with handguns and demanded money. After being told there was no money, the suspects fled the scene. The Annapolis Police Department was unable to locate any of the suspects. Following up on a story we had yesterday about the stabbing in Robinwood, after the victim was transported to the hospital, it was learned that his injuries were in fact serious, and detectives received information from numerous sources identifying a juvenile male as the suspect in the crime. He was arrested on the 18th and was charged on a juvenile citation with attempted first and second degree murder and first and second degree assault. It is still an active investigation, and police are asking anybody that has any information to contact the Annapolis City Police Department at 410-260-3439. Let's file this one under, my bad. Anne Arundel County has been in violation of a state and federal grant requirement for 30 years. Now, the state had purchased the Beverly Trayton Nature Park 30 years ago using public open space money, and now they want to improve it. They sent a letter to the DNR, and as DNR started to look into it, they said, oh, wait a minute. You've been leasing 7.1 acres of that to the Beverly Beach Community Association, which operates that land as a private beach and park. Well, that violates the grant, and now the county has to decide what they want to do with it. They can either change the lease to allow public access to what has been Beverly Beach's private beach for 30 years, or they can leave it as is and find another 7.1 acres someplace else that they can give public access to. The dead zone identified in the Chesapeake Bay has been growing. Monitoring data from the DNR says that there's little to no oxygen covering 2 cubic miles as of late July. They said this is the worst picture painted so far, with the most concerning areas including the lower Potomac and Patuxent rivers, as well as much of the bay from Baltimore to the mouth of the York River. That sounds like pretty much the whole bay to me. Scientists fear that the worsening situation in the bay will negatively impact the crab, fish, oyster, and other populations that require oxygen. That's not good news for anyone whose livelihood depends on harvesting them, and I'm not sure about you, but it seems to me that this bay health keeps going up and down every single month. Forbes magazine has rated the top 650 schools in the country, and by schools I mean colleges, based on what they give back to students for the money they spend on a college education, which I think is a pretty good way to take a look at it. Maryland schools did pretty well. They had 14 schools in that list. Highest ranking was Johns Hopkins, U.S. Naval Academy, University of Maryland College Park, Loyola University, St. Mary's College of Maryland at number 229, St. John's College here in Annapolis at 234, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, Washington College, Maryland Institute College of Art, Towson, Salisbury, Goucher, McDaniel, and Hood College all made the list. No surprise if you're wondering who made the top 5. Harvard, Stanford, Yale, MIT, and Princeton. Yeah. All right, it is Tuesday, as I said, so that means it is Ticket Tuesday, and our friends at the Ram's Head have given us 2 sweet tickets to Table 201, which is the owner's table, to see Sweet Honey in the Rock. This is going to be on Sunday, August 25th. The show is at 8 o'clock. The doors are at 7 o'clock. And if you have never seen a 7-female a cappella group with 1 male bass player, this is the show for you. These ladies will be incredible. And if you'd like to go see them, just be the 7th person to send me an email today saying, hey, I'd like to see tickets to see Sweet Honey in the Rock. Hey, and speaking of Ram's Head, make sure you give a listen to our Legacy Business Spotlight last weekend. We spoke with Bill Muehlhauser, who is the founder and until recently the owner of the Ram's Head Group. We found out that he sold most of his interest in it. We found out how they're growing. They're up in New York. They're in South Carolina. They're in New Orleans. They're in Key West. A lot of stuff you probably didn't know. Very interesting one. By far the most interesting one I've done so far. Definitely check it out. That released on Saturday at noon. Coming up again next week, it's going to be Maryland Hall. We talked with Margaret Davis, and that'll be a lot of fun too as well. I do realize that not everybody can win those tickets to see Sweet Honey in the Rock, so I've got a prize for the rest of you. If you would like to go see the Maryland Latina Festival, which is this Sunday, and if you take a look at the weather, you will see that it is going to be a spectacular weather day. No rain with a high of 80 degrees, and I've got a discount code for everybody. You can get your tickets at abceventinc.com, and that Inc. is INC, so it's ABCEVENTSINC.com. Click on over to the Maryland Latina Festival, and when you check out, use the code LATFESTI, LATFESTEYE. That will save you 30% on as many tickets as you'd like to buy. Tickets are $12. It's going to drop it down to $7. That'll save you $5, which is plenty to go down to Pips, Dock Street Dogs, and buy a hot dog. All right, that does wrap it up for the news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day, because we do update it throughout the day. Click that first link in our show notes, because it tells you all the different ways that you can connect with us, and you want to make sure you give us a recommendation or a review anywhere you can do that, and tell your friends and family about us as well. We have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast standing by, and he'll be here right after this message from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and the Annapolis Remembrance Walk coming up on September 21st.
Suicide prevention starts with everyday heroes like you. Join us Saturday, September 21st at the Navy Marine Corps Stadium in Annapolis as we walk to fight suicide. Be a part of the movement turning hope into action. Funds raised will benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Annapolis. Together, we can help stop suicide. Go to afsp.org/Annapolis.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, August 20th. More 90s for highs today across all of Anne Arundel County, with heat indices, again, 95 to 105 plus degrees for all. And with that heat and humidity comes another chance for PM storms to pop up and possibly be slow-moving heavy rainmakers in spots. Same for tomorrow and Thursday before a frontal boundary moves through and brings much nicer temps in the low to mid-80s for Friday and Saturday, and maybe mid to upper 80s Sunday in Annapolis and beyond in the mid-Atlantic region. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com, so you can always stay weather informed.
September 28th, the second annual Twist and Stout Festival at Quiet Waters Park along the shores of the South River. Twist and Stout, a Maryland wine, craft beer, food, and arts festival presented by the Anne Arundel County Department of Recreation and Parks, along with the Maryland Wineries Association. Sample dozens of craft beers and Maryland wines. There's music all day starring the Groove Spot Band, along with the Naptown Brass Band and Vertigo Red. Watch the Plein Air Painters and shop dozens of artisans, crafters, and food trucks. Tickets are on sale now at twistandstout.org. That's TWISTANDSTOUT.org. September 28th, Twist and Stout at Quiet Waters Park, noon till 6. Tickets at twistandstout.org. You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.